Liam Payne was once pop royalty as a member of One Direction, but his difficult life and untimely death proved a tragic truth. Fame isn't all it's cracked up to be. On October 16, 2024, Payne died after falling from the third-floor balcony of the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires. Alberto Crescenti, who leads the Argentinian Emergency Services Program, told the press that first responders had tried and failed to resuscitate Payne on the scene, describing his injuries as, quote, incompatible with life.
I can't explain how I'm feeling right now. I'm shaking.
According to some reports, the hotel staff had been concerned about Payne in the moments leading up to the accident. One receptionist even went so far as to place 2 separate phone calls to the local emergency services. According to transcripts of the second call, which have been published by the BBC, the receptionist told the emergency dispatcher, "We've got a guest who has had too many drugs and alcohol, and, well, when he is conscious, he is trashing the entire room, and we need you to send someone, please." Soon after, the same staff member voiced their concern that the guest's room had a balcony. The emergency dispatcher reassured the receptionist that a team of first responders was on the way, but Payne was dead by the time help arrived. During One Direction's heyday, Liam Payne and his bandmates were on top of the world. They embarked on sold-out tours every year and had multiple platinum albums. From the outside, it seemed as though they were living the dream. Privately, however, Payne was masking his unhappiness. In 2017, he told The Sun, "Going out and putting that happy smile on my face and singing the songs, honestly, sometimes it was like putting on one of those costumes, going out there and underneath the costume, people don't really see what's going on." Eventually, the stresses of touring led to Payne having thoughts of self-harm.
There's some stuff that I've definitely never spoken about to do with it that was really severe.
Payne once compared fame to suffering a midlife crisis and often spoke about how it led him down a dark and frightening path.
Every so often you're like, when will they send? And then that's almost nearly killed me a couple of times.
During an appearance on the Diary of a CEO podcast, Payne revealed that he developed an unhealthy relationship with pills and alcohol on tour. When they were on the road, the 4 members of One Direction would be contained in their rooms to keep them safe from fans and onlookers, essentially locking them in a room with a minibar.
So at a certain point, I thought, well, I'm going to have a party for one. And that just seemed to carry on throughout many years of my life.
The contrast between the euphoria of performance and those lonely nights spent in hotel rooms proved difficult for the singer to manage on his own. He began taking an epilepsy drug to even out his mood. Later, Payne told The Guardian, "I just needed a little bit of help to keep me stable, but under certain lights on stage or during interviews, I wouldn't be able to tell them my name. And things only got worse when One Direction itself disbanded." The announcement of One Direction's hiatus in 2015 devastated fans around the world. After Zayn Malik's sudden departure just months prior, it seems many weren't ready to say goodbye to the rest of the band just yet. But Payne was more than ready to bid farewell. To him, taking that hiatus was a matter of life and death. Since forming in 2010, he and his bandmates had gone on 4 exhausting headlining world tours and recorded 5 hit albums together. The key to success was their non-stop work schedule, even if it was to their personal detriment. Payne was often candid about the fact that he and the rest of the group were brutally overworked. And who could blame him for suffering? The band's overnight success turned Payne from a regular teenager to a member of a money-making machine that set his future in stone. And that lack of control had a serious impact on his well-being. In 2019, he told Men's Health Australia, "I still struggle with it now." When One Direction started their hiatus, Payne found that he was able to do something he hadn't done for a long time: take a break. The singer took 6 months off, during which he began seeing a therapist. During therapy, Payne discovered that he had lost so much of his true self in the band. In his GQ interview, he said, "I mean, even in my therapy sessions, my therapist asked me, 'What do you actually like to do?' And I'm like, I don't know what I like doing."
I was almost just as afraid of the success as I was the failure.
For so long, Payne's life had been dictated by a manager who crafted his schedule, chose their songs, and essentially controlled his life. Figuring out what to do after all that terrified him. He admitted that he went, in his words, off the rails after leaving the band, soon becoming severely depressed without quite knowing why. He told GQ, "It was just such a strange course through life, and then when the switch turns off, you're left to your own devices." Payne's therapy sessions may have helped him cope with the listlessness of life after One Direction, but the singer's troubles weren't over. In a 2019 interview with Esquire Middle East, Payne revealed that he was living with agoraphobia, an anxiety disorder that sometimes made him incapable of stepping out the door. This anxiety was triggered by the fact that fans and the media were watching his every move. He explained, "I developed a bit of agoraphobia. I would never leave the house, and I do sometimes suffer with it a bit in the sense that I'll get days where I just don't want to leave my house." Payne described feeling a sense of panic while running common errands like shopping or picking up a Starbucks order. He added, "I can feel it now. It was like this horrible anxiety where I'd be sweating buckets in the car thinking, I don't want to do this." In 2021, The Sun reported that Payne's management agency, Kin, had decided to jump ship. An anonymous source told the outlet that the management firm had made the decision to drop him due to his concerning lifestyle. They felt that the singer was out of control with his heavy partying and wasn't taking his solo career seriously. The source said, "There are concerns right now for Liam because he isn't committed to anything and is spiraling a bit. His management were at the end of their tether and said enough is enough." The source also alleged that Payne had found Harry Styles' fruitful solo career a tough pill to swallow. While Styles gained critical and commercial acclaim with his post-One Direction releases, Payne's 2019 debut album LP1 was met with disappointing sales. Unfortunately, it seems Payne's solo career wasn't panning out to be as successful as he might have hoped, especially considering the promising start suggested by his debut single, Strip That Down. Clearly, Payne never found fame easy, but towards the end of his life, it seemed that things were really getting better. He fell in love with content creator Kate Cassidy for one thing, and the two were often spotted together at film premieres and red carpet events. Payne's friends also seemed pleased with this progress. As one of the musician's closest companions told The Sun, "For a while, things seemed to be looking up for him, but things soon began to spiral out of control." On October 7, 2024, the media reported that Payne's friends were worried about him. The insider who spoke to The Sun claimed, "Liam's behavior has been concerning many in his inner circle for months. The issue, Payne appeared to be abandoning old friendships and jumping too quickly into new ones." The source added, "He's no longer around some of his old friends as he's relocated to America to start a new life out there, which means many of those who are around him are yes men. And it seems that this individual was not the person who was concerned about Payne." A separate source told Page 6, Liam had been cycling through periods of ruinous behavior for a long time. All in all, it appears that 2024 was not an easy year for Payne. And while we may never know what led him to finally fall from that balcony in Buenos Aires, his death no doubt marked a tragic end to a difficult life. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, help is available. Call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.